When you gave your response to the transcendental argument, you just said it can all be explained by naturalism and reductionism. No, it can't, because you can't reduce. No, it can't. You can't. You didn't give an answer. You didn't give a response to any of the claims that I made. You just said it can be explained. How can you reduce something that is propositional to states of matter?
Propositions, laws, and logic and math are all descriptive languages, so they don't actually exist anywhere in the universe. They're only describing things that do exist. So
is the claim that you just made a universal propositional truth claim?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you have access to universal truth claims?
Because they describe reality.
So you have access to all universal reality?
No, why would I need to?
Then they don't describe all reality. They don't describe universal states of affairs.
That's not how it works. So I can describe all of reality even if I don't know all of reality. Like I can say all reality is reality.
Not if you're an atheist, you can't.
All reality is reality.
If I have access to the divine mind, I can. I have a justification for it. You have your mind, which is just chaos.
So let me do it. Let me do it right now. Let me do it right now. All reality is reality. Now I just have access to all reality is reality.
That's
all of
a
reality.
Circular argument.
It's not an argument. It's a tautology.
I'm asking for a justification for the claim.
You said I couldn't.
I'm asking you to justify the universal claim.
You said I couldn't.
You just gave a circular argument.
You said that's not an argument. You said I couldn't
justify the claim.
You said
reality is reality.
All right, let him get in, Jay. Go ahead, Tom.
You said I could not access all of reality within my atheist worldview. I just did. Reality is all reality.
That's the dumbest argument of all time. That's a circular argument. I asked for a justification for the claim to universal propositional states of affairs.
Jay, for it to be an argument, there has to be a therefore. There was no therefore in that argument. So
I'm asking you for you to justify the belief that you have access to a universal state of affairs.
Reality is reality. Law of identity.
That's not a justification. That's a circular claim.
No, that's not a circular claim.
That doesn't even make any sense. What is the content?
You know what a tautology is?
Do you realize that in the history of philosophy, that's like one of the most debated terms? You want to appeal to experts. The consensus of the experts on reality is not in accord. What's reality?
I didn't say what reality is. I said reality is reality. Reality
it's a meaningless statement. You need access to a universal state of affairs.
I don't need to know what reality is to know reality.
To say the proposition reality is reality and that's a universal state of affairs requires universal knowledge.
How can reality not be reality? Like what? It's the law of identity.
Your argument is a meaningless claim. It's not an argument. It's not a justification.
The law of identity is a meaningless claim. You can't
justify that. You just said the law of identity was identical to states of affairs, right?
Yes. The law of identity, A equals A.
So you're reifying the statement, and it's not a justification for the belief.
Jay. So the law of identity
is identical to the state of affairs, that reality is reality. Yes.
Yeah. Is that identical to matter?
What? It is identical to the state of matter existing. Yes.
Okay. So you need access to that being universally the case. You don't have it. You don't have a basis for universal claims.
What? What do you mean I need access to it being universally? How can it be?
The claim is a universal claim. Is it a universal claim?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have access to universal knowledge?
I don't need to.
And universal states of affairs?
I don't need to.
Yes, you do, to believe in universal. A classic debate comes up in Plato. It's about the question of universals, right? And you can't reduce universals to instances of particulars because it presupposes the thing that's in question. What is the universal characteristic or property that's shared between objects, features, classes? It doesn't matter what type of thing we're talking about. But I made it an even higher order argument because he claimed to have access to universal states of affairs. But he doesn't have access to that. He's a finite, limited being in the atheist paradigm, right? With no access to that. He's just matter in motion. Yet, this ultimately irrational worldview of being matter in motion, pure chaos and pure flux, is at the same time trying to lay hold to a claim of what is universally propositionally true and the case in all states of affairs, in all possible worlds, perhaps. He has no access to that. And when I said, what's the justification for the claim? He says reality is reality. That's not a justification.
There it is.
Okay, by the way, thank you for explaining that a little bit. I would just want...
A justification is the action of showing something right or reasonable. Saying reality is reality does exactly that. It is a justification by the philosophical term.
It's the most unclear notion in the history of philosophy that you're appealing to in a circular argument.
Right, let him get in. Yeah,
it's a circular argument.
We'll let you get in. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
never defined reality. I just said reality was
So
reality.
it's meaningless.
So no, Jay.
This
that's
is your justification for access to a universal state of. Do you know what a universal is? How does that justify the universal?
Jay.
How does that justify the universal claim?
How does that justify the universal? How does that justify the universal claim?
That's the issue. Why do you think you're valuable and worth preserving?
Because I am the descendants of people who thought they were valuable and worth preserving, and the ones who didn't think that have killed themselves. But this is not a statement about...
Divinity raises the humanity in Christ through theosis, and that's exactly what we experience.